Hey everybody! I am so excited to be here. I have one of our speakers from Toronto Women's Expo with us today, Suzan Hart. She is a trainer, a speaker, and an author. And I'm excited to have you at the Expo and here on the Facebook Live. Thank you, Suzan, for being with us.
Randy, I'm excited for the Toronto Women's Expo.
Well, I'm thrilled to chat with you and for everybody to kind of get a little teaser of who Suzan is. So we are going to talk today about health because I know you have dove quite deep into that topic. So why do we not take care of our health, Suzan? Why do we ignore it?
It's the big question, right? And
yeah.
It's interesting because even when I look at my own life and I look at different things, the thing that was boggling my mind, Randy, was we all really kind of know what to do, don't we? I know that I need to exercise, I need to eat well, I need to get some rest. All those things to create great health, to keep my body healthy.
Exactly.
And so we know what to do. So the question is, well, why don't we do it? And I truly believe that we get caught up in this thing I call survival. And you're trying to survive the day. You're trying to survive, putting food on the table, take care of kids. You know, if you were like me, you were the chauffeur, you were the cook, you were the provider, you were doing all these things. And somehow those take real priority over our health. And one of the realizations I had was that, do you notice that people give you accolades for the big house, the big car, the great job, the great titles? You get all the accolades for that, right? When was the last time you got an accolade for your blood sugar being perfect, your blood pressure being great, all those things that we don't see? Society just doesn't reward us for it. So we focus on what we get rewarded for, which is providing. And in that, we have such an urgency that health is not that thing that you see. So, if you don't go to work, there's an impact. If you don't provide, there's an impact. And it's often immediate, right? If you don't take care of your health, there's not that immediate impact. It's a gradual thing. So we don't see it as paramount. We lose sight of it. And I talk a lot about how often we put our health on the back burner. And we say, well, when I get through this project, when I finish this, when I get through that, I will go and take care of it. But it kind of doesn't work that way. That never happens.
Exactly. It gets thrown to the wayside. I just want to acknowledge Shireen and Kala for being on with us. Thank you so much. And if anybody else is on with us, please say hello so we can acknowledge you. Gordon's on. Hi, Gordon. And say hi. And if you guys have any questions for Suzan, please write them in the comments section. I'll interrupt her every now and then to to ask. So sorry, Suzan, go on. So yeah, we don't take it seriously enough, I guess, right?
Absolutely. And Randy, I don't actually think we have really stopped to figure out what health actually is.
Okay.
Right. And for many people, health is the crash diet.
Right. It
is going to the gym. So as we say, I'm going to get healthy. And then we go on the crash diet. We go to the gym. We start working out like mad people. We come back stiff because our trainer has done something with our body. We go through periods of I'm going to hydrate. I'm going to do all these things. And oftentimes we do it with something in mind, like something has come up. So often it's an invitation to a wedding. It's an invitation to a reunion. It's a vacation. It's something where we have to show up, and it's come to our attention that we don't look the way we want to. Or it's the moment you look in the mirror and you go, what the blank happened?
Right.
Right. And so I think we define health as all these things we do, right? And for me, what I began to realize that health is really a relationship with myself. Health is is who I am. So you notice we say I am healthy. So in other words, I am health.
Right.
And so if I am health, it would serve me to maybe understand that health is not a doing of a diet. Health is not a doing of the exercise. Health is actually my willingness to take care and respect myself. And it is what I do around that every single day. And to put my health down because I'm busy is really to put me down. It's to disrespect and disregard me. So I think what we don't yet understand as a culture is that health is actually a day-to-day function. And when you wake up every morning and you put your feet on the ground and you say, I'm so happy to be alive, I'm blessed to be here today, that is the moment you recreate your health journey. You start health again, right? And so it's a different way of looking at it.
Well, thank you. Thank you. And before we get to our next question, I want to acknowledge Larissa being on, and thank you for sharing the video. You guys can share it and spread the love with everybody out there, because Suzan Hart's going to be at the Toronto Women's Expo. She's speaking at 2:00 right after lunch, but she's also going to be one of the VIP speakers you get to pick brains with. And I'll also be doing a Facebook Live with Suzan on another topic, so you get a holistic idea of what Suzan's all about. But in the meantime, and Larissa says happy to, and thank you so much. If you guys have any questions, please write them below. Larissa says, Suzan, I look forward to meeting you at the expo.
Look forward to meeting you too, Larissa.
Awesome. So Suzan, how does our health impact our wealth and other areas of our lives?
It's an interesting thing. I think it's our health is foundational, and I'll share a little story to just drive this home. When I lived in Toronto, and yes, I did live in Toronto for a very long time, and my background is family counseling, group counseling, and I was managing one of the largest drop-ins in the downtown core of the city of Toronto. And as I was managing that, we saw women that were homeless. We saw women who had mental health issues. We saw women who had a host of various challenges. And one of the things that was really interesting, we also had a host of women who were living on the street. Mm-hmm. And my perception of people who live on the street was, as many people, often people think they're lazy, there's something, they don't have qualifications, they don't have jobs. And as I began to sit and talk with these women, I found out that they were teachers, lawyers, doctors, all these professionals living on the streets of Toronto. And one of my questions was, how come? Mm-hmm. And one of the answers was continuously, well, Suzanne, I got sick, I lost my health, and then I lost my ability to work, and then I lost everything else.
Right.
Or I lost my ability to work, and then I lost my health by the stress of that, and then I lost everything else. And I think there is such an interplay between health and wealth that we don't see it as foundational. But if you ever catch the flu, so think of the last time you had the flu, Randy, right?
I can't remember, to be honest with you.
And neither can I. But anytime that someone gets sick and they go down, you notice that everything stops. Mm-hmm. Everything stops. If you're going on a vacation, if you're planning a vacation, it doesn't happen. If you had to go to work, it doesn't happen. If you had to go do an activity with your children, it no longer happens because your health has been compromised and you go down. Right. Right? So we don't look at our health as the foundation for everything we do. And one of the things I realize is the healthier I am, there's more ease to how things happen in my life. And I also had this notice for myself, is that I realized that healthy people dream. And what I mean by dream is not dream like when you go to bed at night. I mean, healthy people have dreams for their future. They have dreams about doing and being more because they're no longer as caught up in survival. Mm-hmm. Right? So if you want to dream and have an abundant life, foundationally, it's really important to have your health on track. And if you take some time and you look at well-rounded, highly successful people, that is usually one of their foundations.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And thank you for that, because that is really, really good insight for mindset for people to think about. If that's not how you're thinking, that's where you want to be.
Well, so we're going to deep dive on that one at the Toronto Expo, Women's Expo. So, and Randy, the other thing I think is so cool is that we're having this conversation at the Toronto Women's Expo. Why? Because I think women, because we are the best multitaskers.
Oh, yeah.
Right? we are also socialized to do for others before we do for ourselves. So women tend to be the people who give from that empty cup, right? We're giving, giving, giving. And it's often when we're about to crash and burn that we realize I haven't taken care of me. Mm-hmm. And one of my hopes as we talk at the Toronto Women's Expo is that we flip it on its head and we have women realize that if I take some time and I fill my cup up first and I learn to give from my overflow, not only will giving be easier, but what will also be easier is the ease to which I do it. And the abundance to which I do it from, and that I can give from a true place of generosity. I won't give from a place of resentment. I won't give it from a place of upset. I won't give from a place of exhaustion, because I have been replenishing my cup. So I'm excited to have that conversation and also talk about the different ways we replenish our cup and how simple it is, and it doesn't actually take much time. So we're gonna have some really cool conversations about both health and wealth, and how they go hand in hand, and why health plus wealth equals freedom. It's not one or the other. It's the two of them that really actually set us free.
Well, I love it. I'm so excited to see you on stage at the Toronto Women's Expo, and I urge everybody to join us not only at the event, but also to stay for the VIP, because listen to Suzanne's expertise, and you're going to hear more next week on our next Facebook Live. But being able to pick somebody's brain like that for a couple hours over lunch, a nice hot lunch buffet, where else do you get that? That's awesome. So before we finish off, Suzanne, can you tell the audience something that they can do to impact their health?
Absolutely. I think that, I would ask everybody to give up the all or nothing, right? So most of us, we're all in on a diet and an exercise program, or we're all out. And that's a setup. That to me is a setup, because, there's always going to be something that's going to happen in your life that kind of deters you for a moment off that big program, that extreme diet. And what I'll ask everybody to do is every day when you plant your feet on the ground in the morning and you sit in gratitude for your health and life and all those wonderful things, is to ask yourself, what is something I can consistently do around my health? Just one thing. Mm-hmm. What is something I can consistently do around my wealth? One thing. And start doing those things, because health is a series of habits, right? And how I was able to change and just really kind of take charge of my health in a really clear way, it was one habit at a time. One at a time. So one thing that you can consistently do for a small period of time, and then build into it. Don't go extreme. And if you fall off, it's not all or nothing. It's a lifetime journey. So just get back on track and keep moving. So that would be my tip. Simple, easy.
Well, I love that, Suzanne, because you're so right. We're so all or nothing. It's extreme this or extreme that, and there's no kind of middle ground or allowing yourself deviations from things. And you think that if you do, well, I screwed the whole thing up, right? And I think teaching people that mindset is absolutely fabulous. So thank you for sharing that. Celeste says, great topic and she says, my favorite health. Great topic, my favorite health. So I guess health is your favorite topic, right? Beautiful.
And I think it should be all of our favorite, one of our favorite topics, because it is who we are. If you're not healthy, what do you have? Right? That's life. Right? So
Exactly.
I'm glad it's her favorite topic. It's definitely one of mine.
Well, I love it. You're definitely walking the walk and talking the talk. So, you're a great role model and mentor for a lot of women and men out there who need to get control of their health in a holistic way, not just in the typical way that we tend to think, which is exercise or food, right? And Celeste says, hello. So yeah, I'm so thrilled to have you again. Suzanne will be on at 2:00 in the afternoon on March 29th. If you need the link to register, either put it in the comment section below or message Suzanne or myself. We're happy to share the link with you. And you can get free passes, but please, I urge you to join us for lunch, join us for the VIP. I mean, you've got this incredible woman right here. You're going to get to pick her brain. And, she's not accessible, okay? Either traveling or speaking or doing programs, and, it's not easy to get a hold of this lady. So I really urge you to take advantage of that time and pick her brain.
And Randy, I will say to anyone listening that if anyone's ever sat down with me and picked my brain, you get the best of me when you pick my brain, right? You get the real journey, the real information. So I think that VIP lunch is going to be so special because it's just, you get to fire questions. I guess I'll be eating later.
No, you can have your food with.
But that's the thing, a lot of my success has been those opportunities where I've gotten to sit down with someone who has mentored me, someone who has more success than I have, or they have a different type of success, and is being able to sit down and ask those questions that has made all the difference. And I think, what you and Gordon are doing is brilliant because, it's creating that think tank. Right.
Exactly. Thank you. Thank you. And Gordon does have a question, but before I mention his question,
Gordon would have a question.
Of course, how can Gordon not have a question? But before I go to Gordon's question and before we sign off, I also wanted to mention, and this is not something we have speakers talk about on stage, regardless whether they're part of a network marketing company or not. You are a very successful network marketer. Mm-hmm. So for those who are thinking about VIP and thinking, okay, well, I'm not that interested in health, which you should be, or not that interested in our next topic, which you should be. She's also a very accomplished network marketer and an author. And that book has taken her to amazing places. So if you are interested in learning how you can succeed as well, I'm sure Suzanne would be happy to answer some of those questions, at the VIP as well, because you have so much information to share with your success, not only just with your health and everything else, but in business as well, right? So
absolutely. And Randy, when I talk about health, I talk about physical, emotional, spiritual, and financial health. And most people don't look at their money as a part of their health. But I remember when I was financially upside down. Can we spell stress? Stress was eating at my health. Right. And so when I talk about health, there is the financial wellness of every single person. And the question is, if what you're doing right now around your finances isn't working, then it really is time to begin to do an investigation. And sometimes it's just a shift to a degree to one side or the other, that'll totally change it. And most people that I know in Toronto are hardworking, result-driven men and women who just need a little bit of insight. So, when we're talking health, we're talking the whole package, right? Health plus wealth.
Absolutely, and thank you. So Gordon asked, and it's a quick one. Tell us about one of your favorite places to vacation, because we know you love vacationing.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay. So if it's an adventure, one of the places is France, because I love wine.
Okay.
Right. France, wine tasting, wine tours. That's one. If it's relaxing on the beach, one of my places would be St. Martin. Partly because there's a beach every 10 minutes.
Right.
And it's not one of those places where you have the big resorts and the crowded beaches. You can find a beach where there's 5 people.
Right. Wow.
Sit and relax and swim, and the ocean does something really special for my well-being. So those would be 2, and there's many more, because I love to travel. But often where I am in that moment on a vacation is my favorite place.
Which totally makes sense, right?
I'm just so thrilled to be in a different part of the world with a different culture. So yeah, absolutely.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, thank you so much, Suzan, for being on with us. And I'm so excited to have you at the Toronto Women's Expo. So thank you for coming.
Oh, my pleasure. I'm looking forward to seeing everyone and connecting with the vendors. And it's going to be a wonderful day. It's going to be a beautiful day.
Yes. Well, thank you. And again, if anybody wants the link, and thank you everyone for sharing this video. And I'm so excited to have Suzan at the show. We will be doing another Facebook Live next week, so stay tuned for that. It'll be a different topic, and I am excited. Do you want to tell the topic?
Well, we're going to be talking about the wealth part of wellness, right? The wealth part of your physical and financial fitness. So, and wealth, it's one of the most fascinating topics for me. I don't think it's one we talk about often enough. So.
Perfect.
Yes.
Love it. Well, I look forward to it. And thank you again, Suzan. Thank you everybody for watching and listening and sharing. Have an awesome day.
Thank you, Randy. Take care. We'll see you next week.
Okay.